In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 semen retention secrets and how you can use sexual energy to unlock your genius. Okay, I'm also going to be diving into the physics of why semen retention is so important, and then I'll be sharing with you why it is an essential step in becoming the conscious creator of your destiny. And then towards the end, I'll be sharing with you the ultimate key to using sexual energy to unlock your true potential and capability as a man. Okay, now first and foremost is the physics of semen retention. Why is it so important? Well, the first law of thermodynamics states that energy cannot be created excuse me, and energy cannot be destroyed. Okay, energy can only be transferred or converted from one state to another. Now, you would agree with me that to create a new life requires energy. It requires your life force energy to go into the egg, fertilize the egg, and then by some divine cosmic process an entire new organism is shaped within the womb. All right, so it all starts with the life force energy that goes towards fertilizing that egg and then resulting in an entire new human as a result of it. All right, so you would agree with me, of course, that it requires energy to create life, and of course it requires a divine cosmic energy that is full of potential to go and create a new life. Well, that life force energy is of course stored within your semen, all right? And if according to the first law of thermodynamics, we would say that energy cannot be created or destroyed, it's only transferred. So you are either transferring that energy which is stored in your sperm towards a new life, or if you're just consistently ejaculating on tissue paper or within your flush, you are literally depriving yourself of your life force energy. You're depriving yourself of the ability to show up as the most capable version of yourself, because you're depriving yourself of the energy it takes to actually make that happen. Okay, so I don't know why people debate with me on this, because it is the first law of thermodynamics about how semen retention can increase your levels of energy, increase your levels of vitality, and increase your ability to show up as a strong, grounded, confident man that is dominating his path and purpose in life. And it all comes back to energy being transformed or converted inside your body rather than outside, where you're not having a kid, right? You're just fucking ejaculating all the time and letting it go down the flush, or letting it go in your tissue paper, or spreading it on your sheets. You are wasting your primal life force energy. Okay, so that is physics. No one can argue with that. Now, the second thing I want to be discussing with you is why semen retention is so important in your journey towards becoming the conscious creator of your destiny. Okay, now by destiny I mean that you are future oriented, because according to Stoicism, the past and the present are fatalistic. We should have a fatalistic view towards them, because we cannot do anything to affect them. But if we are disciplined and we value the future over the present, then we can give up that short-term gratification. We can tap into our discipline, our clarity of vision in terms of what we seek to create, and then we can be disciplined and bend the structure of reality in our favor. But of course, it starts with being the creator, the conscious creator of your destiny, rather than the subconscious victim of external circumstances. All right, so in life there are two types of men. There are victims who are moving towards a destination, but that destination is not of their own choosing. Okay, they are reacting to external circumstances, they are following through with the motions, or they're going through the motions, and every day they are actually moving in a downward trajectory. They are living at the effect of circumstances, of situations, of people, of experiences that are outside of them. Right, this is the victim mentality. This is what's encouraged by the big pharma industry, by the big food industry, which is getting them sick and getting them hooked on pills, and mainstream media. It just encourages to make blame and excuses the fundamental thought patterns that are running through your mind. Okay, so definitely get rid of watching this mainstream media, get rid of consuming these pills that are masking a symptom, which is something that is unaddressed. So it's a vicious cycle at the end of the day, and I can go on and on about why this is the case, but comes down to semen retention at the end of the day, because sexual energy, the drive to procreate, is the same drive as your creative energy. Okay, think about that for a second. Sexual energy is the same thing as your creative energy. And if you're not creating the results that you want in your life, if you're not clear on what you seek to create in your life, then you will blame outside circumstances, you will make excuses, and you will remain focused on what you dread about life. You will choose misery and unnecessary suffering rather than moving towards creating a life of your own choosing. And it all starts with creativity. Okay, that is what separates us from animals, because we are able to choose our response in any given situation. We are able to create something in our heads and then bring it into fruition into this physical reality as well. But if you're depriving your life force, if you are ejaculating all the time, if you're not conserving your creative sexual energy, then you will lack the ability to create results in your life, because you're depriving yourself of the fundamental driving force that is behind that creative drive, that is behind that creative expression. Okay, and everything that is possible for you in your life is determined by your creativity. All right, everything that is possible expands in correlation with your creativity. And if you are not able to come up with the action steps that you need to take in order to create the life that you want moving forward, then run an audit of how much you have been ejaculating recently. Okay, because at the end of the day, it goes down to the first law of thermodynamics. And if you have been expending more energy than you had to spare, then your body compensates for that by sucking vitality from your brain, from your liver, from your kidneys, from your digestive system. All of your body's organs actually contribute to the creation of that life force energy. And if you're depriving yourself of more than you have to give, then all of your other organs will begin to become weaker as well. And then down the road, that can have some serious debilitating effects. All right, so if you are to become the conscious creator of your destiny, if you are to create the life that you want rather than being a victim of external circumstances and making excuses and blaming outside circumstances, then it really comes down to semen retention and channeling that sexual energy to become the conscious creator of your destiny. Okay, so Napoleon Hill talks about in Think and Grow Rich the three constructive purposes of sex emotion. All right, emotion is energy in motion. So he talks about, well, the first and foremost is the perpetuation of mankind. Of course, if you are not creating a child, then the second constructive purpose that he talks about is that of health and rejuvenation. In the Tao, they talk about how sexuality is a bridge towards us using that energy, channeling it to our other organs, and healing our body as a result of it as well. Okay, I can make other videos on that, but it's funny to me how I was reading that the ancient Taoist masters, when someone had an issue or some health issue going on, then they would prescribe different sex positions to actually heal that issue as a result of it. All right, and Napoleon Hill talks about it as well, that it is one of nature's chemical elixirs that allows you to become more vital, become more healthy. But of course, if you are practicing semen retention at the same time, right? If you're ejaculating, if you're letting it go, then you are depriving yourself of the very energy that can be channeled to heal your other organs. Okay, now the third constructive purpose of sex emotion, as he talks about in Think and Grow Rich, is that of the transformation from mediocrity into genius. Now this is why you clicked on this video as well, because you want to unlock your genius, you want to channel your sexual energy to show up as the most capable version of yourself. But let's just dive into what genius is in the first place. Okay, so genius comes from the root word of gene. It's the same root word as Genesis, and it means, it really literally means, like, the word is generative power. Okay, generative ability to, you know, take something that's inside and generate more energy as a result, and that energy can become something else, whether it's a human, whether it's your ideas, whether it's something that was not there that you are putting out there through your creative capacity. That is what sex energy is used to channel towards. Okay, now, like I said, it comes from gene, and that also basically means to beget or give birth to. So to me, like, coincidences don't exist, but the fact that the root word of the word genius is the same thing, to give birth, and then sexual energy is something that is linked to our creative energy, it is our creative energy, then we can understand that sexual energy is the key to unlocking our genius. And really, in the ancient Roman traditions, they used to say that every baby that's born they have a genius. Okay, so we look at it in modern society that someone is a genius, like Einstein, like Elon Musk. These guys are geniuses, but in the Roman view of things, where this word actually comes from, it is like they are expressing, it's something that you have. Okay, genius is not something that you are. In the Roman context, genius is something that you have access to by virtue of being a human being. And this is really where it comes down to the spiritual process of semen retention, of sacred sexuality, whereby we can tap into that sexual energy and use it and channel it up from our sacrum towards our brain, up our spine, and use it to get rid of everything that is not us. Okay, because that is ultimately the spiritual process as well, to distinguish between what is you and what is not you, what is your thoughts, what are your emotions, what are your prejudices, what are your opinions, and what is actually true for you. This is the spiritual process between differentiating between who you are and who you're not. Okay, you are not your opinions, you're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions, you're not your prejudices. You are, because that's like a infection of the mind that we have these days, where the world inside our heads has become more important than the world that is outside of our heads. The world of the creator has become less important than the world inside our heads. Okay, I know, I was listening to Sadhguru the other day, and he was saying that our smartphones, what's going on in our smartphones, has become more important than the cosmos. And the spiritual process is to reverse this anomaly, all right, to flip it on its head, so that we can begin to experience life for what it really is, rather than get trapped in our minds, in our psychological drama. So it really comes down to, I mean, sexual energy is a tool which we can use to get towards these higher levels of consciousness and unlock our genius, so that you can have access to our genius, which is the aspect of ourselves that is not conditioned by society. It's not conditioned by the circumstances in our life. It's our inherent intelligence to give birth to something that was not there before, because we are tapping into something that is inborn rather than something that has been put there. Okay, so just wanted to shoot this quick video in giving you a lens through which to look at sexual energy in your life, why semen retention is so important if you are to transition from being a victim in your life, who's going through the motions, who's doing the same things, getting the same results, but making excuses about why you're not moving in the other direction. Then definitely this is an area for you to run an audit of and make sure that you are retaining and transmuting your sexual energy to create the life that you want. So if you like this video, if you learned something new from it, click a bunch of the buttons below so that you can keep seeing my beautiful face on your home feed and talking about these deep, wise ideas that I've gone from other people and books and stuff like that. So click a bunch of the buttons below if you like that, and leave a comment below letting me know what more ideas that you are having questions about, and I can do my best to make a new video on that. So with all that being said, this has been Saleem, and I will see you in the next video.